Hey y'all, I don't know if y'all don't know much too about buildings, but today we're gonna learn about buildings. So we're gonna get this project going. Uh,
Yeah, the buildings have the key to history. They've seen everything, and they still stand strong to this day. Buildings are reliable and would never tell a lie.
so which building should we talk to first?
Obviously, the business school is the newest.
Isn't that not even done yet?
Oh, right, the business school is not even alive yet. So I'm not really sure why we would even talk to it. Also, http://www.clemson.edu/business/new-building/.
So the first building we're talking to is Doubtfit.
You are so right, Rotato Chip. There is something in those hills, man. But first, let's take this chem exam.
What's up, YouTube? Just finished the chem exam.
Yeah, I just want to know.
As you can see, I'm still in chem lab gear from the exam. We're about to interview
buildings. I'm really curious about the history of Clemson. So like,
We want to
we're gonna
learn.
find
We're
out.
here to learn. So
Like, I don't
join
think
us.
it's that bad. So let's go see.
Welcome to our learning journey. We're gonna learn today.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
Ladies and
journey.
gentlemen,
You're
let's
here
take
for the
this-
journey. Get ready. It's about to be rowdy. Jared's in Burberry. We're on our way. Let's go. Where'd he go? All right, we lost Jared. All right, Jared's back. We're about to learn all of the history of every building on Clemson's campus in like an hour.
We just got here at Doubtfit Hills. There's something in those hills, man. There's something in those hills. Hey, so you're Doubtfit, correct? 'Tis I. I provideth shelter to a plethora of students of Clemson University. Yet oft loathed is thine location, for it be too far and convenient. Achilles' heel doth dread the inevitable march to lectures of heavy tediosity. Yes, with all due respect, good sir, why do you speak as though you are a character in Shakespeare? As the dawn becomes dusk and the leaves smell of musk, I still do ponder, and students still wander. I am jovial and young, left collapsed like a young, and vaping is very bad. What master doth thou serve? Hamlet, my good sir. Hamlet is his name. I have heard of this Hamlet of which he speaks. We must leave here at once. It is not safe. Hamlet may sling sarcastic remarks at any moment before making an emotional speech about how he is incapable of processing whether or not he wishes to live.
Go.
Boy, am I hungry. I really want to go get some food at Core. Gee, I wonder what the history of Core is. So I hear you were made in 2016. Is that true? That is true. I was built 2015 to 2016. That's correct. Yeah. Yeah. So, did you know that the new president, Donald Trump, was elected in that year? Yeah. I don't really care. I'm just a building, I'm not a person, right? Yeah, exactly. So, how many square feet are you exactly? 2,500 square feet mixed, just the average. What's your...
Jared, I believe that's 250,000.
250,000? Yeah, I was just trying to be a little bit less
Humble.
boastful. Humble.
Stay humble.
Stay humble, right? Gee, you lied to me to stay humble? That's so great. So, 250,000 square feet. What's your uses? People eat at Core. People also live at Core. So people live at Core and people eat. Gee, that's like two of the fucking basic necessities. That's like some of the basic necessities.
Damn.
Yeah, Yeah, a lot of people eat at you. So, what else happened? Yeah, Obama watched in 2016 the Rio Olympics, and also the earthquake in Italy was very mean. There was a big earthquake in Italy, and it tore down everything. Also,
That's so sad.
Dude, like, it's so sad. I can't believe Brazil had to go through, like, the Olympic, like, Trump had to go through watching that. Also, Brazil impeached their gosh dang president. Like, can you believe Brazil impeached
That's incredible.
their gosh dang president?
That's
dude,
ridiculous.
This man told me himself, Core, that's so ridiculous.
It's insane.
So, what else happened during this time period, 2016? Well, Obama pulled up in Cuba and was like, bro, Cuba, you can't be doing the stuff you're doing, right? So, and also, during this time period, what else happened? ISIS was very bad. ISIS was awful. Can you believe that ISIS was bad? Like,
yeah,
I know ISIS is very bad, but like
bad.
in 2016 especially,
They were very bad.
they were like that dot.
Whoa,
Very freaking high. Don't
so high.
very, very freaking high. Very freaking high.
Wow.
So that goes to show. Clemson's a very old school. However, Ford Dining Hall has no prevalent information on its history. So if it's not giving me the information I need. It's just giving me very basic facts about 2016. Yeah, Obama watched the Olympics. Trump was elected. But does that really encapsulate the whole history of Clemson?
I don't think so.
I think we need to go interview another building.
Probably.
I think so. Let's
That's
go.
a great idea.
That's a great idea.
All right, here we are at the Strode Tower, everyone. Built in 1969. Jared, can you unlock your phone? Built in 1969. Strode Tower saw a lot of rebellion because hippies were angry that the Vietnam War was happening. Strode Tower is primarily an office building for professors as it stands today. Strode himself was the first president of Clemson Agricultural College. Clemson was originally an agricultural college. If you didn't know that, welcome to history. The building housed the School of Nursing and its upper floors from 1968 to 1975. That's like my 30th birthday. Labs were in the basement. This building did it all, people. Nursing. And labs in the same building. It's a tower. Goes all the way up there.
You know,
highest building I've seen except for Tillman
It
Hall.
connects Daniel to Strode.
It's connected to Daniel.
With a freaking
It's
bridge.
connected to Daniel Hall. That's the best hall on campus. Strode Hall, everyone. I'm kidding, it's a tower. I lied, it's not a hall. What do you think? You think this was a joke? Strode Tower. Look at how tall it is. That's a tower. Jared's laughing so hard at this. He thinks it's funny. Strode Tower. We love you. 1969 to present. Thank you, Strode Tower.
Wait.
All right, Jared, what are we up to?
So we figured, since we interviewed Core, we might as well see what it's all about. What I have here is some sushi. For whatever reason, they only put 2 pieces on this plate and 4 pieces on this plate.
Weird.
However, we're gonna go ahead and do a food review. See, this is some nice food. It's got some rice, some, sliced cucumbers. The inside, it's got some nice stuff. It's got the sesame seeds enveloping the entire piece of sushi. And I learned that in chem lab. You gotta waft.
You gotta waft.
It smells pretty good. I don't eat. I just observe food. Oh, and we got some green stuff straight from the ocean. It smells pretty good. Overall, the building's pretty nice. Let's see how the water is. Refreshing.
Welcome to Holzendorf.
So this is a pretty old building that I like, as far as I'm aware of. So let's interview Holzendorf.
I think Holzendorf was built in 1916.
Dang, that's so old. I'm literally younger than that. So Holzendorf. Let's start off with the basics. How much did you cost? How much did you cost as a whole? Well, I costed around $78,000.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
Especially in
I
1916.
literally don't even have that money, and that's like in 1916.
That's a lot
of money. All right,
That's enough for
let's
a
go with
building.
Another question: what do you contain in your building? the basics. Swimming pools, showers, bowling alley, gym, auditorium, cafeteria, kitchen, reading rooms, meeting rooms.
They've got everything in Holzendorf.
Dude, Holzendorf literally has everything. Like, that's insane. Like, I wonder what they had to go through in order to get that much
Probably
publicity.
Burberry.
A lot. So, when was your auditorium renovated? Like, because your auditorium is pretty nice, but you're pretty old, like, as a building. The auditorium was renovated in 1937, and it was also enlarged. Therefore, more students can sit and learn in this auditorium. Dude, did you hear that? Like,
I did. That's insane.
Like, a lot more students could learn in there. A lot of people had the great idea to renovate their building size.
That's such a great idea.
And allow more students to be educated.
Wow.
That's a really good portion.
Wow, we'd love to hear it.
Of this hall. So, what happened during the time period in which you were being built and already established? What happened in the year that you were built and established?
What year was that? I think it was
1960.
1960.
1960.
Yeah. Like right in the middle of World War II.
In the middle of World War II.
World War One.
World War One.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, my numbers are
I
off. I
tricked
can't
you.
really count.
I tricked you.
So, the Russian troops conquered the Kermanjasa, Persia. Germany also attacked the ships into the Atlantic. The U.S. invaded Cuba for the third time. Baltimore Symphony Orchestra presented the first concert.
Wow.
Whoa.
Artistic.
Yes. The SS Sussex, torpedoed by the UB-29 in the English Canal.
You mean the Germans? U-boat 29?
Yes.
Torpedoed?
Yes.
The SS Sussex?
The light switch was
Incredible.
invented. That's
Incredible.
like crazy during this time period. Like, that's innovation.
1916 was a huge
Innovation. Not even the Watt Innovation Family Center, just innovation.
year. Not even the Watt.
Not even the Watt.
Family Center.
Jersey Shore's shark attack spread. Can you believe
Wow.
what you
Sharks
said?
went crazy on the Jersey
Sharks
Shore.
went absolutely nutty.
Crazy.
So, what else happened? You know, the huge World War One.
Hello, Tillman Hall. So, you were built in 1892, as we know. And I hear that 1892 is a pretty crazy year because in 1892, Ellis Island started bringing in the homies. How do you feel about that? Incredible. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I also heard that the Dalton gang attempted to rob 2 banks in Kansas, were shot by the townspeople. They both 2 people for the Dalton gang. How do you feel about that? Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know why they would do that. It's Kansas. People don't mess around in Kansas. Yeah, no, it's so crazy. And also in 1892, Augustus Savage, the African-American sculptor, was born. How do you feel about that? Because I hear that you're big on like diversity and equality and everyone being friends. I totally support them. Everyone should be friends. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great. Wow, brilliant, amazing. We love to hear it. Also in 1892, for the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus crossing the Atlantic, schools around the country recited the Pledge of Allegiance in unison. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, no, I agree. That's wonderful. Beautiful. It's a beautiful metaphor. Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, it's great to hear from you. Thanks for your input into the history of Clemson. Love to hear from you again. Hopefully, I'll see you soon. Have a great day.
These interviews, they're making me annoyed. I'm not learning a thing, literally. None of these buildings know what they're talking about. There has to be another way. There has to be another way to learn about the history of Clemson University, because the buildings, honestly, are not doing it. They're not doing anything. They're telling me nonsense, and I'm out here trying to understand what they're saying, and it's just not working out. I don't see the reason. Oh wait. Hold up. Oh gosh. This is some groundbreaking stuff. The computer is calling my name. The computer is calling my name. And I need to do some research. So, I remember some young lad telling me that there are only 3 buildings that remained on Clemson University's campus that were part of the original Clemson University. And I finally found the answer. The 3 original buildings of Clemson University that still exist today are Hardin Hall, Tillman Hall, and Godfrey Hall. That is what I need to interview next. I need to interview Tillman Hall. I know that there is much controversy around the name Tillman Hall. And I don't think that the Tillman Hall that Blake interviewed, I really don't think it's the actual Tillman Hall. We might have run across a phony. So, I'm going to get Blake, and we're going to go interview Tillman Hall, the real Tillman Hall. And we're going to get some in-depth information. And yeah, catch us then. Hey, Tillman.
Hey,
How have things been for you recently?
oh, you know, the usual oohs and ahs whenever people look at me and see how famous I am. I'm famous for the wrong reasons, though, and my fame is much misinterpreted.
Elaborate.
Have you not heard about what my name represents, young man? I am named after the beloved Benjamin Tillman. This guy was completely awful. He was an American Democratic politician who led a group of redshirts during the election of 1876. He opposed civil rights for black Americans, defended lynching, and often hinted that he helped kill many black Americans in his speeches. Overall, he was a horrible guy. However, it was because of his land grants that you and I are here, and it is why I have the name.
So you mean to tell me that you represent racism and my school is utterly and completely racist?
I do not represent racism in and of itself, but I represent Clemson's push against racism. Nowhere does it say on my body that my existence is to be associated with racism.
I remember there was a big debate on changing your name. What were your thoughts during that time period?
I found it to be absolutely ridiculous. I believe if they erased my name, my history would have been forgotten. Even though my name is one of the worst people in the history of the United States, it stands as a reminder of our history. We need to be reminded so that it does not repeat itself. It is important for Clemson to embrace its history so that it can become the best school it can be.
Thank you for your input, Mr. Tillman. I am glad you are aware and insightful of this situation.
Spread the word. Let everyone know, especially students. Students need not be isolated from the history of the school they attend. Students' knowledge of history ultimately betters the university. Farewell.
We can conclude that the history of Clemson remains in its original buildings. There are 3 main buildings that were part of Clemson's original campus, one of which had the best information of the history of Clemson University that we were able to find. Not only are there 3 original buildings, but there is also an original house, and that house is John C. Calhoun's house. The house was a plantation house, which reveals that Fort Hill, the land on which we attend Clemson University, was formerly a slave plantation. Slaves were whipped, worked beyond fatigue and pain thresholds, and were rewarded with little to nothing for their hard work. Upon the land that was once a slave plantation, we are able to study thanks to Thomas Green Clemson's land grants. He was also a slave owner, so in a sense, the school is built from slave owners, and it's built around slavery. The buildings that remain uphold the hill's history. However, the newer buildings knew nothing of the history whenever we talked to them, as shown previously in the video. A substantial amount of Clemson's original buildings were taken down. This goes to show that the removal of buildings, or even just the names of buildings, can potentially erase history, which creates potential for history to repeat itself. We must protect these original 3 buildings that remain on campus so that the university stands strong and continues to make progress, giving way to an even better Clemson than we know and love today.